Once upon a time, sisters and brothers back in the old country, back on Long Island, we were settling in for Thanksgiving dinner. My sister's father-in-law, even though he was a naturalized U.S. citizen, he grew up abroad. He came here as an adult, but he never really got into this Thanksgiving thing. And he was traveling, and it's a long story, but he ended up on our doorstep as we were celebrating Thanksgiving dinner, and he did not understand Thanksgiving at all, which is an interesting exercise because we had to spend much of that great feast explaining what we were doing and why we were doing it. And of course, it required us to think more deeply about what we were doing and why we were doing it. It's peculiar, isn't it? We had to explain that Christians and Jews and Muslims and Buddhists and everybody else, Sikhs, were all celebrating Thanksgiving. Even atheists who had no idea who they were giving thanks to give thanks on Thanksgiving Day. And I know what you're wondering. You're wondering, why am I talking about Thanksgiving here in April? Why am I talking about Thanksgiving on Holy Thursday? Oh, but you Greek scholars know. Right, Father? You Greek scholars know, right? The Greek word for Thanksgiving is Eucharist. We celebrate our Lord instituting the Eucharist on Holy Thursday and instituting the Holy Priesthood, On Holy Thursday, sisters and brothers, as he was beginning his passion, Christ entrusted to the church a sacrifice new for all eternity, the banquet of his love. Oh, sisters and brothers, as we begin our Triduum, as we begin walking with Jesus through his passion, death, and his resurrection, we recognize that we are called to celebrate with pilgrimage to the Lord as perpetual institution this holy sacrifice and this holy sacrament. Two things in one. And we hear, sisters and brothers, how in the earliest days of the church, this has been her practice. We heard St. Paul reminding the church at Corinth, what they did presumably every week, at least, was what was handed down to them from the apostles. This is my body that is for you. Do this in remembrance of me. This is the cup of the new covenant in my blood. Do this as often as you drink it in remembrance of me. And I hope, sisters and brothers, this is sounding pretty familiar to you, yes? But of course, sisters and brothers, Christ did not just at the Last Supper institute the Eucharist. He began to wash the disciples' feet. Despite Peter's objections. Recognizing that living lives of service is intrinsic to our Eucharistic celebration. It's not an add-on. It's not something we do just to make ourselves feel good. But our lives of thanksgiving and our lives of service are part of one another. Christ gave us a model to follow that he has done for us, so should also we do. As we, in a couple of moments, sisters and brothers, I'll have 12 disciples, 12 volunteers, 12 followers of Christ come on up and let me wash their feet. We witness to being servants, but letting Christ serve us. So that, sisters and brothers, not only this Mass of the Lord's Supper, not only this Triduum, not only this coming Easter season, but in our entire lives of faith, we may learn how to better offer a sacrifice of thanksgiving and call on the name of the Lord. Praised be Jesus Christ, now and forever.